Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutrabhashya Kritav Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham Hari Om. Let us read verses 49 and 50 that we saw last class. Ko nama bandha katamesha agatah katam pratishtasya katam vimokshah ko savanatma paramah katma tayor vivekah katametatucyatam. So these are the questions from the student. And then the Guru says, Danyosi krita krityosi pavitram te kulam tvaya yad avidya bandha mukta muktya brahmi bhavati bhavitumicchasi brahmi bhavitumicchasi. So the Guru begins the answer. In the 49th shloka, the student had asked a set of 7 important questions. And they are the main questions that will be discussed in Vivekacu. And the rest of the text, starting from the 50th verse onward, they will answer these 7 questions elaborately. The entire Vivekachudamani is presented only as answers to these 7 questions. And Bhashyakara has brought out all the important topics of Vedanta Shastra by answering these 7 questions. And in fact, if you want to define a Vedanta Shastra, that a complete text should address these 7 questions. There are some Prakarana Granthas which concentrate on one or more of those. But a complete text means all these questions should be answered. This way, Vivekacu is a complete, exhaustive Vedanta Shastra. So now the Guru begins his reply, as I said, from this 50th verse, and from verse 50 on up to 71. The Guru appreciates the students, congratulates the students. He makes some general comments. The Guru appreciates the student because there are one recognize the importance of moksha. The Parama Purushartha. Very few people pursue this Parama Purushartha. Everybody understands the value of Artha and Kama, wealth and pleasure, comforts, etc. And a little bit more evolved people, they are socially conscious people. And they come to know the importance of dharma also. But to appreciate the value of moksha, one has to go even beyond the dharma consciousness. It requires a spiritual dimension which rarely people have. And we had seen in the very third verse, in the very beginning itself, it was said, Manushyattvam Mamukshutvam Mahapurusha Samshraya Durlabham, very rare. Therefore, the highest, the truly the 1%ers, they throw this phrase, 1%ers these days. So they are the true 1%ers. So the teacher tells the student, you belong to this rare group, and glorifies him by saying, Dhanyosi, indeed you are blessed. You are fortunate. Kritakrityosi, soon you are going to discover fulfillment. Pavita te kulam tvaya, through you, by you, you have sanctified your entire family. And 7 generations, it's usually said, by seeking moksha. Then yet avidya bandhamutya, by removing this ignorance, you are desiring to become Brahmi Bhavitumicchasi. You are desiring to become that Brahma. That's great. So he complimented the student, no doubt, but he also says, cautions, do not be complacent. A lot of work needs to be done. So in the next 17 verses, Shankaracharya speaks about the need and glory of self-effort. Self-effort. So responsibility is also there. And that is beautifully pointed out with nice examples. Let us see one such example in the next verse, verse 51. ऋणमोचनकर्तारः ऋणमोचनकर्तारः पितुः सन्ति सुताद्ययः पितुः सन्ति सुतादयः पितुः सन्ति सुतादयः बन्धमोचनकर्ता तु बन्धमोचनकर्ता तु स्वस्मादन्यो न कश्चन. स्वस्मादन्यो न कश्चन ऋणमोचनकर्तारः पितुः सन्ति सुतादयः बन्धमोचनकर्ता तु स्वस्मादन्यो न कश्चन. Everybody, every human, each one of us, we have to fulfill the four purusharthas: artha, kama, dharma, and moksha. This is, in fact, the intrinsic urge of every human being. The fulfillment of the needs of the lower personality is accomplished through the pursuit of artha and kama. Just to have physical security, and then physical pleasures, sensual pleasures, or entertainment. Every human being needs from one level of lower personality. If a person grows a little higher, a little bit more, is no more happy with mere fulfillment for himself. Then he feels that I have to do something for the society, for other people, and to fulfill certain values, etc. These are the higher needs of an individual. I want to be a dharmic person. I want to do the right thing. So these are the needs of the higher ego. The lower ego needs artha and kama. The higher ego needs dharma. And everybody wants to present himself or herself as a dharmic person. I am a good person. Then still when you go to a higher level, there is a spiritual need, which is called the need for moksha, which is also a need in the sense that moksha shows the highest growth that a human being can achieve. This is also a need because if you study anything in the creation, even a plant or an animal, you find one thing common to all of them. Everything is growing. You don't have to ask a plant to grow. It has a natural urge to grow. If there is an obstruction, like a ceiling or something, if you keep the plant inside the house, it will go through the window seeking sunlight and it will grow. An animal also wants to grow maximum as much as it can grow. So growth is something which not something that you choose, but it's something intrinsically sought by all beings. It's a natural urge. The only difference between animals and human beings is in the case of animals, the growth is only physical. In the case of human beings, the growth is also emotional, intellectual. All those things are there. There is growth in terms of capacity to love, to care for all humanity. Similarly, intellectual growth, wanting to know more and more. So that is why scientists cannot remain quiet. Because they want to know. The entire humanity wants to know knowledge-wise growth. And spiritual growth, that's also there. All these are very intrinsic urge of every human being. Finally, moksha represents the highest growth possible. The infinitude. In these verses, Bhashyakara says that dharma, artha, kama needs can be fulfilled by ourselves. Or we can fulfill these needs helped by other people also. I can do it myself. And if I do not have time or to do so, other people can do it for me. I want money, so I work hard and earn. But an elderly person, he wants money, but he's too old to work. He does not have the capacity to work and earn. So the children, his children, may say, "Oh, Dad, don't worry. I'll take care of you. I'll provide for you." That's there. Or social net is there. Social welfare is there. Social security is there. The government takes care of them. So things like that. That's all possible. What about karma? Some pleasure, some comfort. Again, the son can say, "I'll take care of it. I'll help you with that." Even dharma needs, even though Shastra says I have to do my duties and karmas, and in some case, and in some rare cases, the children or other relations can do the karma on behalf of one person. Suppose father wants to do Shraddha karma and he's not physically able to do it. It requires sitting down and doing all those karmas for an hour plus, and he's not able to sit. Shastra says you can give the power of attorney we talk about. Same way, you can give that power to your son. If it is a simple thing like Sandhya Vandanam, the son will have to do twice. He has to do his own Sandhya Vandana. And then for the dad, similarly for the Shraddha also, you can do. Son or nephew, they can do. So even this karma, dharma, these needs can also be met by other person. Whereas when the question of moksha comes, there is a big difference. For the sake of the father, the son cannot say, "I will get knowledge on behalf of you." When the son gets the knowledge, the son will get moksha. Father is not going to get moksha. Therefore, Shankaracharya says, your moksha need, you alone have to fulfill. You have to do it for yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. So do not complain. I have no time. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. Don't say that. Don't say time. I don't have time to devote the pursuit of moksha. Don't say, I'll have my son do it for me. I'll have my cousin do it for me. No can do. That won't work. That does not work. You have to find time. We don't know how, but you have to find time. Gain this knowledge. If you gain this knowledge, then only you will benefit. If your husband or your wife gains the knowledge, he or she alone will benefit. This is a road you have to take for yourself. Therefore, he says, Rina mochana kartaraha pituhu sudadayah santi. Suppose a father is in debt. Because of this debt, this father is bound. He is at the mercy of the lender. Say the other way around too. The father or the mother, the parents have signed for the student loan. If the student is not able to pay off, government comes after you. So the parents have to pay off the loan. Either way, it is possible. Here he is talking about the debt of a parent, the father. The son can pay. Father can be helped. Sutadayah santi. The son can do it for the father. So that way, the son can release the father from the bondage of debt. Or others can all pay off the man's debt. That's possible. When it comes to bandha mochana karta but bandha mochana, release from this bondage, from samsara. That's not possible. Somebody else cannot do it for you. Sometimes children complain. Father or mother sits at home and just worries. Why can't you go to the class, a Gita class or a Vedanta class, Upanishad class? Devote some time. You will see the light of the day. You will stop worrying. And no, I'm not interested. The children are helpless. They cannot come to the class, gain this knowledge, and have the parents get the benefit. It's not possible. The father has to come. What the mother has to do? In this path, only the mother alone can do it. Children may be ready to provide all the conditions. Okay. Children may say, I will drive you down, or I will provide you transportation to go to the lecture hall and come back. All that I can do. But you have to gain that knowledge. Therefore, he says, Bandha mochana karta, a person who releases one from bondage is swayameva, oneself only. Swasmat anyah kaschana nasti. Other than oneself, nobody else can do that. When it comes to moksha, when we say nobody else can do, it includes even Bhagavan, even Ishvara, even God cannot do it. Even God cannot give us moksha. Do you know why? The reason is moksha need not be given. Unfortunately, or fortunately for everyone, moksha is the very nature of everyone. If it has to be given, yes, Bhagavan can give. But it is already my nature. It is your nature also. It's everybody's nature. What is required is that I have to know or discover the fact that I am free. I was free. I just have to discover that. In fact, I cannot be bound. Therefore, what can Bhagavan give? Not moksha, but he can give the conditions necessary for discovering this fact. Just like I told you, the son can drive the father to listen to Gita lectures. That's possible. In the same way, Bhagavan can provide you the right conditions. That's all he can do. And Bhagavan has already provided these conditions also. He has already given us. The Manushya Janma, the human birth is one condition. He has given us that privilege. Wonderful gift of the human birth. We all have. That is half the battle. We have a head start. Then we have, most of us have been born in this Vedic culture. That's also given. Because Veda alone says Tattvamasi. All other religions are there and they say you have to get moksha. And it can provide the Shastra. It can provide all the conditions. The only grace of Bhagavan is providing the condition. But knowing, discovering the truth, discovering the fact, I alone have to do. Therefore, na kaschana means even Bhagavan cannot help me. That's why moksha is called a purushartha. It is not just Ishvara Anugraha, blessing of God. Yes, Ishvara Anugraha is there, but that Ishvara Anugraha is Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurusha Samshraya, all that. And that is already there. Whereas moksha is purely a self-effort. Therefore, you have to work for that. So whoever is working for that moksha has to be congratulated. And here is a student who has exhibited that, and that's why Shankaracharya is praising him. Some more examples he gives. Mastaka-nyasta-bharadehe, Mastaka-nasta-bharadehe, Dukkhamanyai-nivaryate, nivaryate, Dukkhamanyai-nivaryate, Kshudhadir, Kshudhadikrita-dukkam tu, Kshudhadikrita-dukkam tu, Vinas विनास्वेनेन केनचित् मस्तकन्यस्तभारादेः दुःखमन्यैर्निवार्यते क्षुधादिकृतदुःखं तु विनास्वेन केनचित्. So Bhashyakara gives another example to show you alone have to work for your moksha. Nobody in the family can do that for you. Your husband or wife, son, daughter, not even your guru or Ishta Devata, none of them can do that for you. You alone have to do it. The example is mastaka nyasta bharaha. A load that you carry on your head. It makes you tired after a while. The old days, and they didn't put those wheels on those suitcases. We had a tough time lugging all that. And they used to hire porters and all that. So if somebody is carrying such a load, they get tired. Then if you want to help someone who is doing that, dukkam anyehi nivadyate. Certainly somebody can help. Other people can relieve you of the pain caused by you are carrying a heavy load. Similar in the case of dharma artha kama. Your wife can help, your husband can help, and you can help each other mutually. And now the Shastra says that moksha need is fulfilled only by gaining knowledge through Vedanta, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, and that you have to do it yourself. So the idea is everyone has to get the knowledge for oneself, by oneself. Cannot be done through proxy. It cannot be outsourced. So we see one example in the first line. A heavy load on one's head to give relief, another person can carry the load. A contrasting, beautiful example is given in the second line. Kshud adi krita dukkam tu. But father is hungry. Can the son say, "Oh father, you're having difficulty in eating because you have some infection in your throat"? The doctor says nasal feeding has to be done, or you have to be fed intravenously. That's all very difficult. So I will eat for you. Will that work? No. You eat, the father will continue to be hungry only. So he says, Kshut Adi Krita Dukkam. But the pain caused by hunger, etc. Kshud means hunger. Adi, etc. means hunger, thirst, etc. Nobody else can relieve. Svena na kenachit. Other than oneself, nobody else can release you from the pangs of hunger and thirst. Similarly, you have to release the pangs of your samsara by yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. One more example he gives. Verse 53. Patyam aushadha seva cha. Patyam aushadha seva cha. Kriyate yena rogina. Kriyate yena rogina. Arogya siddhidrishtasya. Arogya siddhidrishtasya. Nanyanuštita karmana. Nanyanuštita karmana. Patyam aushadha seva cha. Kriyate yena rogina. Arogya siddhirdrashtasya. Nanyanuštita karmana. A third example now. That's given here. The example is Roga Nivaranam, relief from a sickness or a disease. If you're sick, taking you to the doctor, and if the doctor prescribes some medication, you can run down to the pharmacy, get the medicines. He can even fetch you some water to take the pill. All that he can do. But the main action, patyam, aushadha seva, consuming the medication, taking the pills. Patyam, any special diet to be observed during the treatment and after the treatment also. If you are on some maintenance protocol, all that you have to do. Nobody else can do that for you. Sick person alone will have to follow that particular diet, take the medicine as prescribed. Somebody else cannot say out of compassion, that pill is so bitter, I will take it for you. No, that won't work for the sick person. Sick person will continue to be sick if he doesn't take the medication. If you want to get better, you have to follow the patyam, all the diet restrictions, however much distasteful it is. And you have to take that bitter medicine. Nobody else can do that for you. Only the sick person has to do it. Now the samsari is a sick person. If he wants to give up samsara, the samsari has to follow both the patyam and aushadam. That's what he said here. Patyam, to get rid of samsara, the do's and don'ts are there. Aushadha sevacha, the medicine is jnana yoga. Rogina kriyate. It has to be done by the sick person alone, not any other person, however close he or she may be. The arogya siddhihi drishtasya, the recovery is possible for only that person, yena, by whom, who has followed these two, patyam and aushadam. Na anya anushtita karmana. Recovery from that disease or illness, sickness is not possible for another person. Not possible. Person who is sick has to do. Another person observes the patyam and does aushadha seva, takes a medicine. It's not going to help you. So in all these examples, if you see, Shankaracharya has chosen such examples in which we are not acquiring, we are only removing something. In the case of hunger, our aim is to remove the hunger and thirst. Similarly, getting healthy also is not really getting health per se, because health is the natural condition of a person. We never acquire health. We get sick. Ill health is not natural. Health is not acquired. On the other hand, health is natural. Ill health we pick up. Have to get rid of it. So what is natural and what is acquired? whatever is natural, you'll be at ease with that. You'll be at ease. And you will not struggle to get rid of that. You won't struggle to remove that. I'm so healthy. I don't want to get rid. I want to get rid of this. I want to see how it is, how it feels to be sick. Nobody says that. I want to be healthy. When you are healthy, you do not feel ill at ease. You don't say, I'm uncomfortable, I want to remove my good health. No one says that. On the other hand, whenever there is something unnatural in our system, a bacteria or a virus, or even a dust particle, foreign particle in the eye, so unnatural, then the struggle begins. Tears flow from the eyes. Very involuntary actions are also there. If it is in the nose, you start sneezing. Something got into your stomach. Stomach is upset. You begin to vomit. One struggle or the other, that will continue until that foreign material is out of your system. You want to remove the ill health. Your health is something very natural. Similarly, liberation, being free, is like health. Just as health is natural to everyone, liberation is also natural to everyone. You are born free. Happiness is also your natural state. Nobody sends you a get well card when you are happy. I wish you will recover from your problem of happiness soon. Nobody sends a card like that. The moment you're unhappy, people ask, huh? What's the problem? What's bothering you? Because nobody wants to accept sorrow, bondage, unhappiness. From that, it's very clear. Samsara is unnatural. Our struggle is only to remove the unnatural samsara. And once that unnatural samsara is removed, liberation is not acquired. You come back to your natural state of being free. In Sanskrit, health is called swasthyam. A healthy person is called swastha, person who is in one's own natural state. Health is your natural. Good health is. Even in English also the word dis-ease. When you are not at ease, you have a disease. When you are not at ease, you are not in your natural condition. That is called disease. You go to a doctor not for acquiring health, because health is your nature, but you are removing something unnatural from you. Similarly, Vedanta says, Bhagavan, Guru, or Shastra do not give you moksha, because moksha is your natural. Freedom is your natural state. You are born free. You have superimposed the bondage on you. All you have to do is to remove the unnatural state of samsara. So that is why Bhashyakara has given this arogya, health example here. This example is a beautiful example. You can extend it a little bit further also. To come back to your natural healthy condition, which means removal of the unnatural condition. Your sadhana is twofold: patyam and aushadha seva. There is no better example to drive home this point than diabetes. The prevalence of diabetes in the population world over, and especially in South Asia, many can relate to this example. Yes, you have to take medication, but you should watch your diet also. If you do that, you can have a normal life. Another common disease that we find in the population is hypertension. For that also, both medication and proper diet are important. And of course, in both cases, exercise is also important. So I would include exercise under patyam, the do's and don'ts. Patyam, we generally think of, our diet control, but physical exercises can be part of that. Similarly, for moksha also, the two things, patyam and aushadha seva, are both necessary. The aushadha seva, the medication for moksha, the remedy for moksha, the medicine for moksha is Vedanta Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. That's the medicine. Without the study of scriptures, moksha is not possible. At the same time, Shastra wants any amount of Vedanta Shravana Manana Nididhyasana will not give you the ultimate benefit unless you follow Patyam also. Without Patyam, all your study will make you a wonderful scholar. You may write books, you can comment eloquently, you can give lectures eloquently, you can get a degree also. So what is this Patyam? Here, the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti is the Patyam. Ask yourself the question, what is the level of my Viveka? What is my level of Vairagyam? Where does my Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha stand? Finally, and most important, Tivra Mumukshutvam. I got to get that, maintain that. I have to have a good dose of all that. That is Patyam. If that Patyam of Sadhana Chatushay Sampatti is not there, the Aushadam of Vedanta Shravana Manana Nididhyasana will not work. There will not be a transformation in you. There will not be a moksha for you. So you have to get that. Keep on working on this sadhana chaturya sampatti. You all have a good measure of that because we have come to this study. It is there. Not that it is zero, but it needs to be enhanced. And strict adherence to that very much required. And when we get this knowledge and get clarity in that, the abidance, the final step of getting established in that knowledge is possible only if somebody has the blessings of sadhana chatushay sampatti. Very important. Om Purnamada Purnamidam पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ